Hey Dolphins, this is Maiden Trollblood bringing you that Feeple 65 Fairyland review, and I'm here with Leica, and he is a Feeple 65 Rook made by Fairyland, and I gotta tell you, I love this guy. He is like so beautiful. He's very muscular. His muscles are kind of stylized, but they are just beautiful. And the way they just like curve and work together with each other, all of these shapes, they're just so lovely. So that's my opinion, review-wise, as far as looks go. He's just so pretty, and he has on his very long, pretty wig, and I love it. But I'm gonna take that off. Before I get started, I want to go ahead and give you a really quick warning before you get bored and surf away from this video. This doll is, he's a great poser, but he relies mainly on balance and just physics, it's the phenomenon of physics with the strings. He's not very stiff, he's not very rigid, and I want to show you Abbott over here. He's made by Spirit Doll, and everything that he can do, he locks into place, and he doesn't move. He can stand much better. He's much more a solid stander. And if you have one of these dolls, you'll find that he's not like that. He's very limber, and he moves very easily. He doesn't have any locking mechanisms in his joints, and he can fall over. He's a great poser. He can stand, but he can fall over. And I just want to tell you, don't stand him up without a stand by himself very long. If you're taking photos, you might want to use a doll stand. If you're drawing, figure drawings of him, you might want to use a doll stand. If not, if the doll stand is really ugly and you don't want it in your photograph, then I recommend having a partner to stand by and get ready to catch if in case he decides to fall over. You don't want him to do that. He's way too expensive. So that's that. Be very careful with him. That's all I'm trying to tell you, because he's a great poser, but it's just all about balance, and it may not last for 3 hours, or it may not even last 20 minutes. He could just probably fall right over at any moment. So that's that. I'm thinking of rigging up a elastic safety harness for him so that he's sort of hanging, but he's holding his poses. And if he decides to fall down, then he'll have a safety line to catch him. That's my idea, and I'll show you that when I build it. So let's get to the review. I'm going to take off his wig, because there's a lot of hair here and it just gets in the way. Yep, there it is. He wears a balloon wig cap, and I think they work great. Let's put that. Abbott can watch that. And here goes his balloon. Okay, there he is. Sorry. Okay, now, first things first, you've seen this before, I'm sure. If you've been looking at the many Fairyland reviews, he has a faceplate, and it comes right off. It's wedged on there. There you go. There's no magnets, it's just sort of wedged on there. Actually, looks like there is a magnet right there. No, there's no magnets. So there it is. He's got this, you've seen this before, I'm sure. He's got this little turnkey. This is why Fairyland is like so awesome and convenient. It's so easy to take the head on and off. So easy. So that's that. We'll put his face back on, because it's really freaky. It reminds me of Silent Hill when his face is off. Okay. Okay, so head has great range of motion. That's as far down as it can go. And then it can go up all the way like that. He has great range, and he can just look up to the heavens, and it's so romantic. Okay. And then there's side to side. there's that. Fairyland comes with an instruction manual, and I'm sorry, I don't have it here with me right now. It's somewhere away, but it's got all these illustrations in it. I think that's really cool in case you're scared about restringing your doll if you have to. I assume eventually we're going to have to. I don't want to because they're really high tech. It kind of scares me. But they do have some cool illustrations that you can look at in case you need help putting them back together. And it also shows you how to work all of his cool removable arms. Tilt them back all the way, then you turn his arm and it comes right out like that. And there's a magnet in there and there's a locking mechanism. And his arms come off and they're strung individually. And his legs are strung individually too from the knee down. And I'm not sure how this is convenient besides just dressing him. But, you know, it goes back in. And there it is. It's back in. And it's so, like, weird. It's so easy. And then his hands come off. You have to turn the little... There you go. Turn it and pull. And it's got magnet and a locking mechanism, and it comes off in case you need to take it off. And I think his feet do the same thing, and his knees come off too, and they're a little bit different. You have to, there's a string, and you have to relocate the string to another piece in the thigh and take the leg off that way. It's a little bit different, and I'm not going to do it because I'm kind of scared, but you can do it if you have to, if you need to. His arms, they stay pretty much wherever you want to put them, and they just, well, not there. It's a little bit loose there. But they pretty much keep their pose no matter what. You can probably sway them if you want more freedom than this, you know. And his elbow can go that far. And from there, you need to pull it out right here and bring it up like that. Oh yeah, like that, see? And then you can touch his face. Ta-da! You can't touch his shoulder, I don't think. Okay, and then there's his chest joint, and it can go forward about this much. Not very far forward. It can go back like this, pretty much this much. He has a, I think, yeah, it's got a pretty natural range for the chest joint, I think, you know. Oh, there you go. And it looks like that, and he's got these really smooth curves, and he's very aesthetically pleasing. And I think he's a great posing doll. He's great for if you need him for your art studio. And then he has this hip joint right here. And there's a wall inside, see? Which prevents him from going forward too much or backward too much. There's backward. There's forward. He doesn't stay too well. If you've had those old Bobobi bodies, I think people complain a lot about the stomach. It pops out of place and it's very floppy and stuff. But I think this is sort of preventing that sort of floppiness, that sort of thing. It keeps him solid. And then he's got these butt bends right in here. There it is. And I really, this is the part that I'm not very excited about. I don't really think he can do very much with his hips. It's very heavy. He doesn't stay. I'm thinking I'm going to have to sway his hips. He can't do Captain Morgan very well. So there's that. It swivels side to side. He's at least very flexible. And when he sits down, I'm also not very impressed with his sitting because he likes to fall backward. It's that age-old problem. And you have to use, you have to use balance and physics to get him to stay. See, he falls. Whoop, he's very top-heavy. If you sort of like maneuver his chest joint forward. Then he balances forward, and he sits that way. If not, he has to lean back on his arms, and he can hold himself up like that. Probably with both arms, actually. So there he is there. It looks like with his knees are beautiful. I love them. They're just very smooth and round, and very graceful. And this little ball joint in here, it sort of mimics the shape of his kneecap, which is sculpted right here, and I think that's beautiful. It continues down into here. It's very pretty. So so there's his knee. I think it's double jointed in this way. I don't know if you can actually, I mean, I was working with it earlier. Looks like you can sort of pop it out and go like that. In case, I can't really get him to sit on his knees very well. And then you put it back in, and there it is. His feet have a really beautiful range of movement. That's how far they can point. And then they can go up like this. And then here's side to side. Not too good, but does he really need to? I mean, do they really have to post their feet side to side? They can turn, of course. So there he is. I'll show you his standing ability. He does stand very easily on 2 feet, but you have to give him supervision. Watch him like a hawk. There he is. Pretty easy. But you don't know how long that's going to last, so be very, very careful. Woo, see? He can stand on 1 foot. I can make him do that. This is the easiest way. And it's good to put his arms out for balance. It's all about balance, and it's really a beautiful concept that he can just balance himself beautifully like this. It's a very artistic thing. Oop. See, it's just it's a phenomenon, so don't rely on it at all. It's easier when I'm in front, so. And there you go. There he is on 1 foot. This having his toe pointed helps. It's also a very pretty pose, I think. I can actually. Oh, and also when balancing him like this, take into consideration how his chest is posed. Because, you know, it's all about balance. You gotta make sure everything's in the right place if you want to make these phenomenons happen. I have gotten him to stand on 1 foot before. Like this. With pretty much no help from the other foot. But that is even rarer. But it has happened. And I would encourage you to leave him in this pose even less than the other one. You can really spend a lot of time playing with him. Woo! Yeah, see. It's very hard. Might want to check out the chest joint. Or you might want to move the arms and if you want him to get him to do odd things. Sometimes it's all about complete balance. Woo. I don't know if if we're going to get to see this happen today. No, see, oh, I'm giving up. But yeah, it can happen. It's just this is something fun you might look at for a few seconds if you can make it happen with your doll. But don't rely on it. Give him a stand. or safety harness. I'll show you his hand motion. There's a slit for the string. You might have to maneuver it around. So wherever it's maneuvered, that's where his hand can move. So there's up and down. And then you'd have to maneuver the ball joint to the side so that he can pose his hand to the side. There it is. So I think we've covered just about everything. I love his upper movement. His lower movement I'm not so impressed with. He poses standing better, a lot better than sitting. He can you can pose him with like one knee up, sitting down. I'll show you a photograph of that. You'll get a slideshow after this video. So that's it. Overall, I'm happy that I bought him. I think he is a great poser, but he needs some help. I'm thinking about swaiting him and getting some fancy, expensive stands from the bulk store or something, and making some riggings, and he'll be a great poser. I think he's beautiful, you know. I'm very happy that I bought him. If you're buying him as an art doll, then I recommend getting him stands and stuff. If you just want him as a loving doll, you know, just a pretty, then that's highly recommended too. He makes a great companion. So, out of if on a scale of 1 to 10, his posing ability, I would probably say about maybe 8. You know, just, based on the fact that he's limber, he's very flexible. He has a nice range of movement, but because his knees or anything doesn't lock into place, so he can do like a sturdy Captain Morgan like Abbott can. That's the only thing that I think would cost him some points. So I say give him an 8 on the scale of posing. I'm thinking maybe the mini fees and the smaller Fairylands like that can pose a lot better because they're smaller, you know, and less weight. So there he is. I recommend him. He's very pretty, and he's a great doll. And if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer. I haven't had him very long, so I'm not exactly expert at posing him yet. I've played around with him a little bit today, trying some odd poses that I've never tried before. So I'll try to answer your questions if you have any, and thank you for watching, and who stole our sandwich?